Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever live stream on this channel. I am super pumped to have all of you here with me today, and this is something that's actually been a long time in the making, and I want to say thank you to everybody for your patience over the many months I've been kind of planning this. We're going to be talking a lot in these live streams about YouTube growth and how to grow your channel, but at the same time, there are a lot of elements that go into that, and there's many things that we're going to discuss because, honestly, there's so many channels out there sharing information and giving information that don't always line up with what works for a new YouTuber. So this is something that I am passionate about and excited to be able to share with you guys. And I want to say thank you so much for everybody who has been such a great support on this channel over time. We're going to be talking a lot about today on how to focus on the right things to grow your channel. And at the same time, the things you can do, but at the same time, the things maybe not to do, or maybe things that we focus on a little bit too much. And then also within kind of the scope, I want to talk for a few minutes at least about this live streaming, my plan for kind of the live streams on this channel, and this week, and then in the coming weeks and months. I'm hoping to make this a very consistent, output each week. Sunday is a good day that works for me. And I want to kind of dive into, letting you guys know that, I want your feedback. I want to know what you guys want to talk about. I want to know what topics you want to touch upon week by week. Right now, the plan is to kind of have this be, like about an hour long each week. And I'm hoping, honestly, that at some point, as I get more comfortable with the software and the process, because remember, this is brand new for my channel as well. I've been talking about live streaming for a long time, and I'm planning for it for a long time, but I kept having things happen that were kind of stopping me from being able to do that. And so I really want to get your guys' feedback. I really want to know what it is you want to talk about week by week. And I want to really be able to dive into these topics and help you guys further your own channels and help grow your channels with things that actually will make a difference. I kind of want to talk a little bit about some of the struggles I've had with that, and we're going to be relating that to kind of like focusing on the right things about YouTube growth. Now, that being said as well, please drop in your questions in the live chat as we go here. I will do my very best to answer every question I possibly can. If for some reason I miss your question, or you think of a question after the stream is over, please drop back into the video. All of these are going to be published, archived and published. They're all going to be available to rewatch. Drop back into the comments and leave a question in the comments that you may want answered, or something you want to touch upon. Whatever it is, that's what my channel is all about. And I also believe in transparency and honesty. So I want to just welcome some people in here too. Abby, the Cuber. Abby is a longtime friend and supporter of my channel. Abby, welcome, my friend. And CJ, the Bald Gamer. CJ is here, so welcome, CJ. It's great to see you, my friend. And Frank, welcome, my friend. It's great to see you. And AJ, welcome, my friend. AJ has been a subscriber of mine since pretty much almost day one, I think. And he's always showed up and commented on my videos, left lots of great feedback. And so thank you, AJ. You are an awesome dude. And Alexia, welcome. I know I'm live. I can't believe it. It's only taken me like a year. Really, I started planning this like 6 months ago, seriously planning it 6 months ago. And I actually got my computer and my camera back like in September. My plan was I was going to start live streaming then, Alexia. And then it turned into things got busy and I ended up not being able to do it. And then I was like, oh, I'll do it in October. And that turned into, oh, I'll do it in November, December. And now here we are. It's the middle of March and I am sorry. But welcome, Alexia. It's awesome to see you. You are an awesome supporter as well. And 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗧, welcome, my friend. Great to see you. I know 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗧 recently subscribed to my channel, but she's left lots of great comments on my videos as she's gone, and that means a lot to me. I mean, honestly, when a new person comes in and starts leaving like that comment trail on my videos, I'm so like, it re-energizes me, because it's like sometimes, you get maybe like feeling a bit down about things, like, am I really making that much of an impact anymore? And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about in terms of focusing on YouTube growth, is some of my struggles I've had. But 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗧, I really appreciate you leaving the trail of comments and watching my videos and supporting in that way. It means a lot to me. And and Frank, my good pal Frank, Learning and Technology with Frank. Frank has been a longtime supporter of mine as well. Frank, you always leave great comments and support, and I really appreciate that too, my friend. And thank you, 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗧. That's very kind of you to say. You are amazing as well, and so is everybody. Jesse, thank you so much for at least letting this run in the background. I really appreciate it. A lot of you know my struggle has been watch time. So let's talk a little bit about kind of what happened in the start. So when I started my channel, my original intention was essentially to create business videos. That was really kind of the goal of my channel. And I knew that I wanted to create as well some YouTube help and advice, but I thought, okay, that'll come a little later down the line. And so I started my channel with kind of this goal of just mostly financial accounting, bookkeeping videos. And I thought to myself, oh, I've seen Nick Nimmin do videos and Brian G. Johnson. It's not that hard. It's super easy. And honestly, nothing could be further from the truth. And actually, sorry, just looking at the chat here, I wanted to also mention that it's CJ's birthday, the Bald Gamer. CJ, happy birthday to you, my friend, and wishing you many, many more, my friend. You're a great guy, and I really appreciate your support, so happy birthday, dude. Yeah, when I started my channel, that was my goal. It was business stuff. And then it didn't take long before I realized how much I loved the YouTube genre, the YouTube niche. And when I started, I really thought to myself, and probably a lot of you can relate to this, I really thought to myself, wow, it's not that hard to make content. I think would be pretty easy, and I think I'd be good at it. And I do agree, like in one sense, like you've got to be confident, right? You need to be sure of yourself when you're making your content. But if you kind of go in with that attitude of thinking it's just a breeze, and I know I can make better videos than Nick Nimmin does, like, like I'm telling you, when I started, I realized how hard it was. You literally have to roll in like 10 or 15 different jobs or careers as a YouTuber. People hear, oh, you're a YouTuber, and they think that you literally just turn on a camera and just talk. And it's nothing could be further from the truth. And you have literally so many jobs you have to do rolled into one. And as you guys are coming in here, and as more people are coming in, please leave comments after the stream. Leave comments if you want to talk about certain topics or you have questions. But in the live chat as we're going, guys, please drop in your questions, because I'm going to be doing my best to answer as many questions as I can. And as this format continues to grow and develop, we're going to also be looking at adding in a lot of other functionality. I want to expand this into doing live channel reviews. And, you know, but also I want it to be worth your guys' time, right? Like, if there's only 6 people in the stream, you know, who wants to really like have their channel reviewed, right? Like you want at least, you know, some potentially new people who might see your channel. So, and this is new for me too, right? So I'm learning a lot of the processes with the live streaming side of things. I've got the other side down with the video and content creating, and now I'm like learning the live stream side of things. So please leave your comments, your questions in the live chat here. I have it right set up on my screen so I can just look to the side here and read your questions. And, you know, and Frank makes a good point here, progress over growth. The reality is things don't always grow month to month, but over 90 days, 180 days, a year, progress happens. And Frank, that's an excellent point. That's something that I think a lot of us, when we start YouTube, we have this idea that we see other super successful YouTubers who have, you know, like hundreds of thousands or thousands of subscribers. All their videos get lots of views. And we think, oh, well, my content's just as good. So in no time at all, I'll be pulling in those views. And that's not the reality. You know, the reality is, 𝗕𝗘𝗟𝗟𝗏, hey man, good to see you, dude. And the reality is that YouTube is a lot of work. It's really hard work. You have to be, you know, a writer. You have to get good at writing content. You have to get, so you need to become almost like an author. You have to be a good editor. You have to be an editor for your content, like your script writing, or whatever your formula, whatever your format is. But you have to also be a good editor with your software. And that's something that took me a while to get comfortable with. I'm sure a lot of people have that same struggle and that same issue, right? And you know, there's a lot of other things that go into it. Alexia says I'm an introvert, and that's a factor, right? Like being confident in front of the camera, being able to speak, being able to talk about things off the top of your head, like, you know, it's a lot easier when you have the time to script out your script and write out what you want and make your video. And it doesn't matter if you make a ton of mistakes because you can edit all that. Nobody ever sees the 100 mistakes you make in a video. I mean, I've had videos that I've shot before and I'm like, I've redone a part like 15 times because I keep forgetting the line or I keep messing up a word. And that, you know, can be fun and funny. Maybe you leave a few of those in for some bloopers at the end. But there's so many things that go into content creation. And, you know, I see all the time people putting out their books and talking about like their books, like the YouTube formula, the secret formula to grow your channel. I'm going to let you in on a little secret, guys. There is no formula. There isn't one. It's literally follow the best practices you can, do the best you can, make the best content you possibly can. But honestly, a lot of it is just, like Frank said a few minutes ago, progress. It's little incremental steps with your progress. Tyler, dude, teach me Golding. Tyler's one of my good pals, one of my good friends. And welcome, my friend. It's awesome to see you. And I'm really grateful to have you here, man. It means a lot to have your support. And BSH Vlogs, welcome, my friend. Super awesome to see you, dude. Please stop spamming shout out. And I'm really grateful to have you here too, man. And, you know, but it's these little incremental steps. And YouTube itself is, you know, it's a long-term plan. You know, I know I was guilty of this myself when I was starting my channel. I thought to myself, like, okay, you know, I see the success other people are having, and surely that must happen for me. And you know what? Like, it was pretty amazing for me, my early growth. And I'm gonna tell you guys this because this is a lesson for all of us and a lesson for all you guys to learn from. So when I started my channel, I grew really quickly. Okay. One of the big things that I did early on was I consistently used the commenting method, and I think that's a really good way to grow your channel when you're just starting, when you're brand new, and you're trying to get some people to your channel. You're trying to meet some people. And I'll tell you, like, I don't regret it because there's nothing wrong with using it. It's not against YouTube's terms of service to use the commenting method. And basically all you're doing is going and leaving a nice, thoughtful comment on someone's channel or video. And ideally, you hope they come back and like your content. Now, it's not sub for sub. That's against YouTube's terms of service. You've seen me talk many times about not doing sub for sub. I'm 100% against it. But the commenting method is a really good way to grow early on because you're just leaving essentially a link back to your channel, and someone may come back and watch your content and go, hey, I really like it. That being said, in the long term, it's not the greatest way to grow your channel. And there's a number of reasons for that, and we can get into that in future live streams. But, you know, what happened for me was I grew super fast, and YouTube actually early on was really pumping out my content. I was getting a lot of new subscribers. I remember one day I had 76 new subscribers. I reached 1,000 subscribers in 77 days. And it's funny, I talked one time, I've asked Brian G. Johnson some questions before, and I asked him, like, how long did it take you to get to 1,000 subscribers? And if I remember correctly, I think he said it took him 112 or 118 days or something like that, right? And I thought to myself at the time, I thought, wow, I beat Brian G. Johnson's pace. So, man, like, imagine what's going to happen like a year from now. And guess what? My growth pretty much has stagnated. That was my fault. I kind of killed my momentum. And so what happened was I went really hard early on with making my content. I was doing 2 videos per week. And just give me 1 second here. I'm going to just give me a second here, guys. Put BSH in timeout here. Sorry, dude, but you're spamming too much. This is why I need a moderator next time. Anyone wants to be a moderator, please let me know. Essentially, I went, really hard, super hard at making my content. I was doing 2 videos per week with full-time work, with a family. Like, I literally did nothing but work and YouTube, and I did it for months. It was like 7 or 8 months, and by the time I was done, like 8 months, I was so, like, mentally just wiped out that I ended up saying, okay, I need to give myself a break. I need like a month or 2 to recover here. And that turned into 3 months, turned into 5 months, turned into 6 months, turned into, I think it was almost 8 months. And essentially I killed my momentum. It's my fault. Like, I don't blame anyone but myself. And it's funny, now it's just coming back now to the point where I'm actually starting to get pushed more by YouTube again. So it took a long time to get, like, I hit 1,000. I even hit 2,000 subscribers fast. And then I flatlined. I took a break. I came back, and then it was like I had grown a little bit, but it was slow going. And that's something that take as a lesson. Like, if you're focusing on the things to grow your YouTube channel, don't take a long break like that. Or if you need a break, at least make and have, a few videos there, so that, like, let's say you go, you know what, I just want 2 months away from this. Make ahead of time, like, 4 videos, and at least put one out every couple weeks. Just auto schedule them. You don't even have to come back and answer the comments if you really just truly want a break, but have something going so that YouTube doesn't start to go, hey, this channel's dying, or this channel's not publishing anymore, because it will take a while to recover from that. Now, thankfully, what I've noticed is even though my subscriber count lately has been kind of a bit stagnant, I've been trimming off a lot of the dead subscribers. YouTube's been removing a lot of them, and I've been grateful for that, because it's actually increasing my metrics in a lot of other areas, right? So maybe I'm not getting thousands of views on a video like I would like, but my click-through rate and all those things are starting to improve. So, there's a lot of things that go into making your content, and determining those things is really it takes time. One thing on YouTube like that we have a lot of is time, especially when your channel's new. Experiment with things, test things out, see what works, see what doesn't. I mean, I'm 2 years in almost, and I'm still experimenting on my channel. I still have not found 100% what works for me or my channel. And that's okay, because I'm not doing this as a career. I mean, I'd love if I made a living from it, but I don't make any money. I mean, people have asked me before. It's hilarious. They're like, "Oh, dude, you must be making money, and you must be making so much." I'm like, no, I literally have not made a penny. No one has ever given me a single penny for anything I've done, and that's fine because I like helping people. You've got to determine for yourself what your channel is and what it isn't, and what you want to do and what you want to get out of it. And for me, I kind of came to the point where I realized, you know what, I just want to have a channel that helps people. I just like helping people. I like people. So, like I say, using the commenting method has actually brought me in a lot of really good, regular, loyal subscribers. I know a lot of you are people who found me through my comments. And I really am grateful for that. And I have some really good friendships with some people. Tyler, my good pal from Teach Me Golding, Tyler and I are doing a lot of collabing together. He's a really fun, energetic guy. His content is fantastic. When I found his channel, I think he only had about you correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, but I think you had about 100 subscribers when I joined. And now Tyler, here we are a few months later, and dude is rocketed past 600 subscribers. His channel's taking off really well because he's making content that resonates with people, but he's got such a good personality. And Tyler and I were doing a lot of fun collabs together, and we have some really funny stuff coming as well. Another good friend of mine is Lewis, and Lewis unfortunately isn't here right now, but Lewis from Lewis Watson Vlogs, and Lewis is another one of those guys who's a really cool guy, funny guy, and I've made content with. So, we're going to dive into talking about some specific things that you can do on your channels, but I want this format to be open. I want you guys to tell me what you want to do. And Alexia, you're saying I use Sprizzy. Funnily enough, I actually did use Sprizzy very early on. Again, transparency. But Sprizzy, there's nothing wrong with using Sprizzy. There's nothing sketchy about Sprizzy. They use Google Ads, and that's totally fine. The only thing I'd say is one of the reasons I don't recommend people do ads now after I've experimented with it a few times is the return on the investment it's pretty sad. And I've talked about this with Tyler and some other people too, with Ethan as well, over from Ethan King's channel. And it's the return is not good. Maybe it's not crazy. Maybe it's $30 for an ad. And you're like, oh, wow, this is actually great. I got 1,500 views from the ad running. But then you look at your analytics and, you're like, okay, it was good retention. Maybe it was 40 or 50%, which is really good. But YouTube does not let you keep watch time from videos that are placed in ads. So the 1,500 views is only nice from the aesthetic point of looking at it and going, oh, wow, I have 1,500 views. You get no watch time for it. It's what's the point? The only thing I can say with the Sprizzy campaigns that I did back when I started my channel is I only did it on 2 videos. I tested it to see on 2 videos. Those 2 videos are now my best performing videos. So it's like, is there a correlation? I think there is. You may not get the watch time from those views at the time, but I think there can be an advantage to doing it on a few videos. And YouTube, and I've seen Sean Cannell talk about this, YouTube, I believe, will look at like, okay, you've run an ad on a video. They don't give you the watch time at the time, but I think what they do is they reward you by pushing that video out to more people over time, right? So like, as an example, one of the videos I did it on was, should you like your own video? And, you know, basically, hi Banshin, welcome my friend, great to see you. Basically, I ran that on that video, and at the time it got like 1,000 views from my ad campaign, right? Now that video, I've never done anything else with it, and now that video is almost at 10,000 views. Every month it just seems to tick away with like, you know, 400, 500, 600, 700 views. And I did it on another video that the same thing, it ticks away with 150, couple hundred views a month. So, you know, I think there's something to be said about that. You know, and welcome to everybody who's just joining. Super glad to have you guys here. And Decatron says, Tim, I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot of subs thanks to your advice. I was at about 300 when I found your channel. Thanks, dude. That's really nice of you to say. I really appreciate it. And thank you for saying that too, that you gave me the mindset. I really appreciate that, man. And, you know, as someone who, you know, it does YouTube help and advice, like, I also want to try and be a motivator too, right? I want these streams to be educational and informative, but I want them to be fun too, right? Like, YouTube is supposed to be fun. And if we're not having fun doing YouTube, it's almost kind of like, well, what's the point? If you're miserable making the content you're making, if you're not happy with what you're doing, it's like, why? It's almost like you're punishing yourself, you know? So, you know, I'm a big proponent of, you got to have fun on YouTube. And that's one of the reasons I decided to start making some satirical videos. You know, I like comedy. Excuse me. I like comedy, and I enjoy, you know, laughing and making, you know, some silly content, to be honest. I've done quite a bit of that in the past in my regular videos, where I drop in just funny moments and silly things. But, you know, I think that having fun is really important on YouTube. And if you're not having fun, then, you know, it's you got to step back and rethink, right? And Tyler says, from Teach Me Golding, says, I think AdSense is much better than Sprizzy. And yeah, like, I agree with you, Tyler. If you're going to do an ad campaign and you can set it up yourself, ideally that is the best way to do it, because you can really target the audiences you want to target. Well, oops, sorry, I just hit my microphone. That's one of the things about live streaming. Doesn't matter if I screw things up or say something wrong or smash my microphone. Yeah, and I agree with what Tyler's saying. I agree 100%. The regular ads don't do a lot because they're done by those companies. They put them in where they think it would be the best. But if you're doing it yourself, the only thing I found was a struggle for me was setting up your own AdSense ads is time consuming, right? If you don't really know what you're doing, it's very convoluted, and looking at the screens and the menus that they have is like, you're like, I don't even understand half this stuff. So sometimes it's easier to just say, I'll just let this other company deal with it. The other company I tried out as well was called ViewRocket. And ViewRocket is very simple as well, very simplistic. Good, really good in terms of views. The retention was great and everything. But again, you know, you hit that snag of you're not really getting, you don't get the watch time. You know, what's the benefit? What's the advantage? And one thing I'll say with Sprizzy is the couple that I ran it on like a year and a half ago, those videos are doing really well for me now. ViewRocket was like 6 months ago, and those videos literally have not gotten hardly any views since then. So if I was choosing one or the other again, probably would go with Sprizzy based on the fact that, those couple videos I did are doing well. It's awesome to see all the live chat here, guys. And if you have questions, comments, please drop them in. Andre Glenn, welcome, my friend. Great to see you, dude. What camera gear am I using today? And that's the thing. Like, I want to let you guys know that even though we're talking about kind of a topic each week or a theme, like YouTube growth, or, focusing on YouTube growth to get the results you want, really everything we talk about ties into that. So I'm not like, ask me your questions, and if we go off topic, like, it's okay. I mean, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to dive into your guys' questions. Maybe it takes us in totally different directions, and that's one of the things that's great. Live streaming is live. It's like, you can't script it out. You can't plan it out. It's just what it is. So Andre asks, what camera gear am I using? Andre, I'm actually using, for my camera, I have a Sony ZV-1, and it is an amazing camera for not only my content creation, but it's an amazing camera for live streaming. It doubles as a great live stream camera. So what I have set up here essentially is my Sony ZV-1, and you see the microphone in front of me here. This is a Fifine 670K microphone. This was a phenomenal microphone I got off Amazon, and it was like $59, I think. I always, if you know me, I'm the type of person who always does a lot of research before I buy something, and I like to get the least expensive item, but with the best quality I can. That's just the type of person I am. I'm not going to go out right now starting my live streams and buy a $300 or $400 Blue Yeti. And I saw the reviews on this, and people were like, this sounds just as good as a Blue Yeti, and this was $59. So the microphone is USB, which is awesome for just simplistic use. Literally, it's plug it in and it's ready to go. You don't have to do drivers. You don't have to download anything. You're good to go. The camera itself is hooked up to a capture card that I got based on Sean Cannell's recommendation. He recommended using a Blackmagic capture card. So when I bought my computer, I actually bought that as well. And I have a special cable that goes from the camera hooked up to the capture card. And then I actually have a cable that goes from the camera to a backup battery power. And the beautiful thing with that is I can literally stream. Like, I could stream for 12 hours and my camera would still be running if I wanted. So it's amazing because I'm not then worried about the camera stopping midstream and dying or something, right? So thanks for your question, dude. Really appreciate that. Eventually, I'm going to have, what are they called? Affiliate links. Eventually, I'm going to go back and do affiliate links in a lot of my videos, and I'm going to drop in links to all of the stuff that I use. I also have really cool, like a really cool lighting setup over here. I have laser lights and stuff like that. You don't see them too much in this format. In my regular videos, you'll see like the glowing lights behind me, and that's kind of the laser lights and stuff, as well as Vault Boy right here. He's one of my favorite little accessories to use because he's got the thumbs up going, and that's just to motivate and encourage everybody. And Alex, welcome, my friend. Alex asked me the question, is this the first channel you started posting, or do you have other channels in the past? It's funny, Alex. That's actually a really good question, and because I was actually thinking a lot about that. This was my first channel, but if I was starting YouTube now with the understanding of what I have now, I wouldn't start a YouTube help channel. Honestly, it's a very good niche to get into when you already have a previously built or previously successful channel. It's really a terrible niche to get into to start because, like, you have to have a really good personality and be dynamic because people are just like looking at you going, this dude has like, 62 subscribers and he's talking about, and I got comments like that. Like, I got some nasty comments from people. about, you know, my why am I doing videos like this when I don't have many subscribers and stuff. But you just have to push through that. And realize that there's a lot of haters, a lot of trolls out there. My video coming next Wednesday is actually a satirical video on trolls and haters. The next few coming are going to be really fun. And one of the videos actually Tyler edited for me, and it inspired me a lot. So that's something that I wanted to also touch on with in terms of your content creation, surrounding yourself with a small circle of people that really inspire you and motivate you, and having a few go-to friends that are going to give you that honest advice on your videos and help you. Now, and Tyler's been one of those great guys for me. Like he gives me such good ideas. Like just the tip, that was totally his idea. That was 100% his idea. He was like, just the tip with Tim, that'd be hilarious. And I was like, actually, that is really good. Pardon me, guys. I'm sorry. My throat's a bit dry, and I'm coughing, and I do apologize if that was loud in your ears. So it's important to have like those friends that you can bounce ideas off of and really kind of, you know, ask for advice, ask them what they think. And so Tyler offered to edit one of my videos a couple weeks ago. And I was like, sure, that'd be great, because I love how he edits his videos. And he edited it like so awesome. Like it was only like about a 1.5-minute video, but he did it so well. And I was like, dude, I want to make my videos like that, because it's way more energetic. Like it's really good, like music, like it's kind of like 8-bit, 16-bit digital, fast-paced, energetic music, which suits me and my personality. And I was like, so what I did was I actually edited the next video myself, but I did it really similar to the way Tyler had done it. And I was like, this is awesome, because it taught me stuff. Like I'm 2 years into my channel and I'm still learning editing. I'm still learning techniques. I'm still learning stuff. Like as a content creator on YouTube, you never stop learning. You never stop growing. You should never sit back and go, oh man, like I've made it. I'm done. Like as soon as you do that, like you might as well just give up, right? And you got to keep going. You got to keep creating awesome content. You've got to keep on looking at ways to improve what you're doing. How can you make a better intro? How can you make a more impactful for people? You know, if you are someone who opens up your video, and we've all seen these content creators who start their video and it's like a 30-second long introduction, and you're just, by the end, you're like, you know, you're sleeping. Like, it's boring, right? You're like, no, like get to the point, you know? And even like Brian G, who's one of my favorite content creators, you know, and I think he's really underrated. I've seen like he's talked a lot about like he's made a lot of his older videos are like 20 and 30 minutes long. And he's like, I could have got to the point in 7 minutes and still made a great video, rather than making people listen for 20 something minutes. Like, you know, and I think we need to look at those things and constantly evaluate our channel, evaluate ourselves. If you want to grow your channel, like really grow your channel, you've got to be willing to be your own harshest critic. And Tyler and I have talked about this a lot, that you really need to, you really do need to be your own harshest critic. And that doesn't mean you need to be hard on yourself all the time, but you need to be brutally honest with yourself and look at your analytics. Like, so many people think that, you know, oh, why am I not growing on YouTube? Why do I not have the results I want? It's like, and I say like, well, what are your analytics showing you? And they're like, what's analytics? Like, you're like, well, everything behind the scenes. What are your numbers showing you? And and they have no idea. They've never even looked at their analytics. So, you know, like you've got to be into that stuff if you want to really grow. Someone I'm really proud of who's done that a lot is one of my younger subscribers, and that's 𝗕𝗚𝗕𝗘. And Abby, I don't know how old Abby is for sure. I think like 11 or 12, but Abby, or maybe 13. Forgive me if I'm wrong, Abby. But Abby is like a really like talented young content creator, and he really dives into his analytics. I've always been amazed by his dedication to his analytics and his thumbnails, his creation process, everything. And I'm like, this kid's only like 12 and he's so talented and really like cares about what his audience is seeing. Like, imagine at 12, like, how, and then imagine when he gets to being 16, 18, 20, and he's got years of experience now, right? And so you can really see people start to take off, right? Frank says, tough niche. My thought is that you phase it. Phase 1, let's grow together. Phase 2, mid-size success, and phase 3, expert advice. And that's a great point too, Frank. And I certainly do appreciate comments like that and commentary like that, because those are things that can help us as individuals. This channel is also about networking with each other and supporting each other, helping each other, right? I think that it's important to remember that we're not in this just alone. Like, you can't go it alone. It's not the same as playing a video game. Like, I like to play games by myself. I don't like to play online with people these days. But you can't do that on YouTube. YouTube, you need a network of people. And it's all about what can you do to make somebody else's day better, right? And Alexia asks me the question, do you have to be a big YouTuber to get free gears from Amazon? For example, cameras, etc. Dude, put your mask on. Alexia, you kill me. I actually hate the masks, but we won't get into that right now. That's funny, Alexia. And the question is, do you have to be a big YouTuber? No. I mean, certainly it would help, right? There are a lot of big YouTubers who I have seen, like, and it's frustrating, right? As a small content creator, the people who need the free gear and the help are people like us, right? The big YouTubers, they're big already and they're making lots of money, usually making lots of money already, and they don't need the help, but they're the ones who get given things. It's like celebrities and rich people. The richer you are, the more stuff people give you for free. It doesn't make sense. But it does from their standpoint because they want you to promote their product, right? But as far as Amazon goes, like, excuse me, sorry guys again. But as far as YouTube, as far as Amazon goes, no, you can get like free stuff from companies even as a small content creator. I've had people reach out to me even with my small channel. I'm not quite at 3,000 subscribers yet. I've had people reach out to me and offer like a free product for a plug for their thing, but like it didn't make any sense for my channel, right? And that's something too, like we don't want to just be like, oh, someone's offering me something, I'm going to do it. Like, you got to really think about everything from a critical standpoint, and does it make sense for your channel? Are your audience going to respond? Like, imagine for my channel, right? Like, someone came along one time with a list of 100 rules I had to follow to get a free pair of glasses from them, and they wanted me to promote their glasses. Like, it has nothing to do with YouTube growth. So why would I do that just to get a free pair of glasses? It doesn't make any sense. And if you're diving into doing that, like, and you're just, hey, I can get a free product, so I'm just going to do it. Like, no, it's not good. You got to look at, does it make sense for your channel? And if it's not making sense for your channel, then it's like, don't do it. There's no point. I saw a comment here. Just give me a second, guys. I saw a comment that I wanted to answer. And Alex said, where was it? Oh, there was a good Alex comment here. Alex said, I subbed to you way back when you started out, and I remember you left a few comments in my old videos which have long been privated. And I appreciate that, Alex. I appreciate that people have been with me for a long time. And I still have supporters now who've been with me since like almost day one, which is pretty amazing when you consider that I disappeared for 8 months and, and it's been close to 2 years. Now my hope, like now learning what I've learned, I won't be disappearing like that for a long time gap again. I did have a little bit of a break over Christmas, but just because there was a lot of holiday stuff going on. But it's important to keep up your consistency. And I see a lot of content creators now saying, consistency doesn't really matter. YouTube only favors certain people, etc. I mean, that's such baloney. The same things that a lot of the same things that worked a couple years ago still work now. Not everything, because YouTube has changed a lot of parameters. They've changed a lot of things around. They're constantly kind of changing things up. But, being consistent, and I think like a lot of you probably would agree with this, being consistent is something that is very important. If you are consistent in your delivery schedule, YouTube itself is going to consistently promote you. And that's something like I can vouch for that 100%, like based on my experience, right? And now, like, I've been back consistently posting for about 6 months. YouTube is actually finally starting to promote my stuff more, and I'm starting to get a lot more organic growth again. But it's hard. And this is inspiring. Andre says, I'm part of 2 affiliate programs, and I only have 299 awesome, super dope subscribers. And so that shows you right there. You don't have to have a massive audience to be able to do well with affiliate marketing, or to be able to do well or make money on YouTube. Another one of my longtime subscribers, Jamie, she makes really good content for like moms and families and stuff. And she does a lot of affiliate stuff. And she's got, I think, about 4,000 subscribers. She just passed. And she makes thousands of dollars per month from her affiliate marketing videos. And she'll do like one video and she'll make like $1,000. I mean, that's amazing. Like, if you want to learn, first of all, as well, guys, if you're not in the Facebook group Make Your Mark, come and join us on Facebook. And we all support each other in there, and we bounce lots of ideas around. I do want the group to grow, so come and join us there if you're not there yet. Jamie actually posted not long ago a video in there and some really helpful step-by-step instructions on how you can make money with affiliate marketing. So that's what we're all about on this channel. That's what we're all about in this community. Like, awesome supporters, awesome people like yourselves helping other small YouTubers and helping each other. And that being said, if you go check out somebody's content and you don't like it, don't subscribe for the sake of it, right? Like, it doesn't help the person if you're subscribing, you're not going to watch or care about their content. There's nothing wrong with leaving positive, encouraging comments, but don't do it with the expectation that somebody's going to come back and subscribe. And then if they do, like, oh, you've got to subscribe to them. That's sub for sub. And we don't do that, right? Let's see here. And Frank is 100% right here too. He says you'll lose audience if you're not sincere. And I agree with you 100%, Frank. With that, Frank, if you're someone who's not sincere, you will maybe in the short term it won't have such an impact, but in the long term, as people get to know you more and realize that you're not a sincere person, like, can you imagine? My channel is about helping people and advice and counsel and helping people with growing on YouTube. Can you imagine if every time someone came to me and asked me a question, I was just like, I didn't respond, or I ignored? Imagine you went through like all my comments. I mean, I've answered literally 16 or 17,000 comments on my channel in 2 years. I've answered like virtually everything. I think I've hardly missed anything. Imagine, people were like, oh, this dude is saying he's so sincere, and yet, I can't even get 5 seconds to talk. He won't even give me time. He won't answer my questions. Like, it wouldn't be long before people would catch on, right? And so Alex asked the question, what would you do if you just started out on a new channel and need to start getting traffic on your channel? I thought about making TikToks to promote it because its algorithm is great for new beginners. And that's a great point, Alex. TikTok is very good for new content creators. I know a number of content creators that have taken some of their YouTube format or some of their YouTube content and put them on TikTok, and they have had rapid growth on there, which then brings them a lot of new people over to YouTube as well. So that is something you could do to get some traffic coming to your channel. If you already have a previous channel, Obviously, if it's totally different content, not everybody's going to be interested in just hopping over, right? Like for me, I'm actually planning on starting a comedy channel as well. If I was going to create another channel, it'd be a gaming channel. But I know I have a lot of my subscribers on my channel right now who are not, who a lot of them would probably enjoy the comedy content. If I made a gaming channel, probably a lot of them wouldn't come and watch because a lot of my subscribers are not people who are into video games, right? But that being said, if you have a previous channel, you could use your community tab, discussion tab. You could reach out to people and let them know you have a new channel coming and make a video on your channel where you mention, you're doing something new and, if anybody's interested in coming and checking out the new content. I mean, that way you can quickly get some subscribers and some people coming to view the content, right? But again, like even starting a new channel, I've seen this with bigger YouTubers. Like even starting a new channel is not like a guaranteed fast path to success. I mean, 𝗕𝗘𝗟𝗟 is like 1.3 or 1.4 million subscribers on Think Media. And he started a new channel a while ago, and in the first few months, it only had about 14,000 new subscribers, which is still amazing. But it was a different branch, a different brand of what he was doing, and not everyone was like on board with it, right? Some people are like, no, I'm not interested in that. I like this, right? That's at least a little bit of what I could say is work on trying, like you said, use TikTok, use other platforms, use forums on other websites, use Reddit, use Pinterest, use Twitter, use anything you have social media following on already, and let people know. And I mean, you can quickly start to get some people there if you're making consistent quality content. And remember, it's got to be quality content too. If you're making awful videos and putting them out every day, people are going to be like, this is junk. I don't want to watch this. So you've got to make good content and keep working on improving your content. And it's not going to take long before you start to see people come, my friend. And AJ asks a question, great question. So what do you think is the main reason for YouTube burnout? And Tyler's saying the same, like if you're faking it in a niche, you'll burn out. Well, for me, what kind of burned me out was not so much like the content. I loved making the content. For me, it was just a number of personal life issues and struggles in that way. But there are a lot of people who don't have that, right? There are a lot of people who they get burned out on making the content. And I think the biggest thing is that the reason for that is our expectations. We're starting these channels. We're starting our YouTube channel, and we're having this expectation that isn't realistic. We're supposed to, have 6 months in, I'll be at 10,000 subscribers, and it's like, dude, no. That's not how YouTube works. For every one 𝗕𝗟𝗟𝗦𝗓 who gets 1 million subscribers in the first few days or week, you've got millions of people just like you and me that are years in and still haven't attained to that. You want an example of, dedication. Just watch, go to Owen Video's channel. Owen's one of my favorite content creators too. And Owen's been around making content for 10 years, and he's at about 62,000 subscribers. And why? Like, his content's fantastic. It doesn't make sense. You get someone else who started their channel 6 months ago, and they've already reached 100,000 subscribers. Honestly, figuring out the algorithm, figuring out, what it is, it's not easy. And I think what happens is we set ourselves up with these expectations, and then when it doesn't happen the way we wanted it to, we give up. We're burned out. We're fed up. We're fed up with YouTube. YouTube doesn't promote me. YouTube doesn't favor me. YouTube favors other content creators. Well, that may be the case in some cases. YouTube, why wouldn't they favor a channel that can make them money, right? When we're starting and we don't have a lot of subscribers and we're not bringing in a lot of views and watch time for YouTube, why are they going to promote us? And it takes a while to get to, that status of monetization. I'm 2 years in. I've been past 1,000 subscribers for a long time, but my watch time is still not there. And so these live streams are going to hopefully help out a little bit with that. Maybe I can get 10 to 20 hours a week extra watch time when I can stream. That being said, guys, next week, just letting you know, we have a special event here. So I won't be able to live stream next week, but I will be returning the week after. And hopefully for the next few months, we're going to continue on with weekly live streams. So I hope everyone can make it each week, and it's really a pleasure to have time to spend with you guys, and to have you guys spend your time with me. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I want to answer a few more questions, comments here. I'm right now, the format is going to be roughly about an hour, maybe an hour and 5 hour and 10 minutes, depending on the topic in the week. And as I add more functionality, and we start looking at live channel reviews, and maybe I start having other people on to join me in the live stream as well, there's going to be a lot that we can do. I know Tyler is wanting to join me in doing some live streaming as well, which would be awesome. Tyler has tons of information, tons of knowledge about YouTube. He had the first ever Madden football channel on YouTube way back in the day, and he actually had over 20,000 subscribers. And if he'd kept going with that, no doubt he would be one of these big YouTube celebrities now with millions of subscribers. But we won't talk about that, Tyler. It's okay. It's in the past. But, he's back now, and he's making awesome new content now, and that's what matters. Frank says, my challenge on comments is that people want tech support, which is sometimes complex, so I can't always answer completely. And yeah, that's a good point too, Frank. A lot of times I get that in my channel, not with tech support, but in other ways. I've had people just send me emails and leave me comments, and they want me to do a full analysis of their channel and everything, and design things for them and do things for them. And the thing is, I don't mind helping people. That's what my channel's all about. But when you want me to start designing everything for you, I can't, man. I have to earn a living and I have a family. And so I can sympathize with you on that, Frank. That being said, I don't mind if anybody wants to ask me questions and advice and stuff like that. I'm always happy. Please email me. My contact email is in my About tab, my About page. Send me an email anytime if you just want to contact me, talk, if you want to let me know of something you'd like me to do or see. I agree with you too on that as well, Frank. Most valuable resource is your time and respecting your viewers' time. And I agree with that 100%. When you're making content, you have to, you really need to look at it from your viewer's perspective, right? And is this going to help them? Is this going to, whether it's educational or not, maybe it's just something fun and funny, but is it going to entertain them? And if you're just making content for you, for yourself, it really, it's going to hinder your progress and your growth for sure. Decca asks, is making searchable content bringing people to my channel, but also making content specifically for my subscribers to keep them involved in a good strategy? Yeah, I think so, Decca. I think, first of all, if you want to grow on YouTube, you've got to make content that is searchable. Now, that being said, some of the best videos that I've seen, the best viral videos I've seen, are not necessarily searchable ones, but they became very trendy when already maybe big YouTubers made them trendy, right? When you have millions of subscribers, it's easy to make something, a lot easier to make something searchable, because you can essentially start a trend with something stupid, right? You can make something up. Now, when you're small, I have seen it with small channels before as well. The title of the video is just camping in the woods. Well, that's not really a searchable title, or camping in the back mountains of whatever trail. Nobody's looking for that. but then something happens, something magical happens, and it goes viral, and then it becomes a very searchable term. And so to get people to your channel, you need to create searchable content, searchable titles, and have searchable content. And to keep them there, you know, you need to continue making really good content. I think a mix of the two, personally, is the best way to go. You don't have to have every single video be the most searchable title and everything. And honestly, if you look at TubeBuddy and vidIQ, when it's telling you like, oh, you know, this search term has, you know, super high volume and it's 71%, you know, good or whatever, like, who cares? Just ignore it. Like, it really doesn't help that much. What helps more is creating titles that are intriguing with a really good thumbnail. Your thumbnail and your title are the two things that are the most important to get someone to click, come, watch your content, enjoy it, and then subscribe. And if you're making, you know, an intriguing title, but like with a really good thumbnail, like for example, my video I made on I wanted to be a YouTube guru like a month ago or 5 weeks ago. That's not something people are searching for. Nobody's searching for I want to be a YouTube guru, but that video did pretty well for me because I created an intriguing title, and then I did a really fun looking thumbnail like this, right? With kind of glowing effects out of my body and hands, right? So some of it is also that. Aisha, welcome. It's so awesome to see you. Aisha is one of my longtime subscribers too. And you are correct, my friend. It is a sprint. Sorry, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It can be a sprint if you want to burn out, though. But it is a marathon for sure. And everyone, you're welcome. Like, it's my pleasure to answer questions. And for sure, AJ, anytime, my friend. You know, and we're going to probably, honestly, guys, keep diving into like really good topics in the coming weeks. Please make sure after the stream is over that you go in, leave comments of topics you want to talk about, things you want to discuss. It feels like I can't even believe it's already been just over an hour. I feel like I just started 2 minutes ago, and I feel like I could talk for hours, but I know that I can't do that. My voice will give out. But I saw a comment that Alex put here as well. Have you applied for monetization, or is the 4,000 hours of watch time stopping you? Funnily enough, Alex, I actually was already through the whole process there for like a year. I had everything done. It was just a case of waiting, because you used to be able to pre-apply for monetization. YouTube changed it a couple months ago. I don't know. They didn't announce it really, but I don't know if anyone noticed. But YouTube changed it where they took that away. And now if when you hit your 4,000 hours, you have to reapply. They don't let anyone pre-apply anymore. So I can't apply until I get to 4,000. Now, that being said, the last couple months have been awesome for me, and I super appreciate everyone who has tuned in and watched my videos and let playlists run and help me out with, you know, with that. It makes a big difference. I've gone from about 1.7 thousand hours. I was around 2 a while ago, and then, you know, after a year, you just kind of lose some momentum. But I'm now up to just past 2.2 thousand hours. So it's not that bad now. Like it's like I'm starting to see the light here at the end of the tunnel. So what else can we really say about growth this week? I think we've covered a lot of stuff, guys. I think we have really talked a lot today about a lot of different things, and that's one of the beautiful things about the live stream, is it can go in any direction. It doesn't have to follow a set trajectory. It can be totally up to, like you saw, we're talking about and answering questions, and we're talking about topics and things that come to mind, but you know, the discussion can go really in any direction. I'd love to know what you guys think. If you guys are happy with this format, what you think of this screen, the overlays, does everything look okay? I'd love to know your thoughts on ways to make this better and more engaging. And I'd really like to know, topics you want to talk about. So please leave comments after and let me know and discuss and let me know everything. Come and join our Facebook group. Make your mark. We're about 40 people in there right now, but, I'd love to have more people in there. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then we're going to call it a day here. I wish I could stay all day with you guys. I really do. But Alexia asks, how do you explain that some big channels do not follow YouTube rules such as thumbnails or tags, or even only post once a month? And yeah, that's a great question too, Alexia. There's a lot of times so many variables behind those situations. I've seen channels before where I'm like looking at it and I'm going, they've got terrible thumbnails, titles are brutal, no searchable content, and you're looking at it going, I don't get it. Why are they getting 15,000 views on their video and 1,000 comments? And you're like, I don't understand. Their new video came out and they're doing amazing. It's got 25,000 views and 4,000 comments, and you're like, but then you look behind the scenes a little bit deeper and you realize, hey, this person's been making content since 2008 or since 2011. They've been making content for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, right? So they're being rewarded now at this point after a long time. They're being rewarded by the algorithm. You also got to look at their personality. Like maybe they have a sweet kind of grandmother vibe or a fun grandpa vibe. I find that sometimes people who are more elderly, if they have that kind of vibe and personality, they can do really well. There's a channel called Grandpa Lou Pickles, who's the grandpa of one of the guys that used to subscribe to me. And he started his channel last summer, and he's already got, I think, 40 or 50,000 subscribers because he's a grandpa who does TikTok videos and silly things. And it's like, it catches on, right? I think that, when you're a big channel, tags don't really matter anymore. YouTube already knows. Tags are helpful very helpful when you're small and new. They become less and less and less important over time. And I've seen small content creators who just skip tags entirely, and they seem to do pretty well. YouTube is so sophisticated now that it learns about you and your channel quickly. Within a few months, it knows exactly what you and your channel are all about. So tags aren't really relevant after a while, especially as a big channel. Tags don't make a difference for a big channel anymore. And they don't follow the rules for the thumbnails because they're already successful. People already are going to them for their content. They don't really care at that point. You look at Think Media. I love Sean Cannell. His thumbnails now, they're the same as they were years ago. His thumbnails are not really aesthetically pleasing. They're not super duper. They're not like, oh wow, these are incredible thumbnails. They're basic thumbnails that anybody can do. You can make your thumbnails look exactly like his. The reason he does so well is because he's been making content for 12 years, and he has already amassed a huge following. So it doesn't matter what he does now. Frank makes a really good point here too. I was on a training session with Mr. Beast on Friday, and he was all about knowing your audience and keep them watching. And if there's a master of YouTube in this world, it is definitely Mr. Beast. There is probably no one better than him at creating content that people want to watch. He is phenomenal at it. He's better than, and he might not have as many subscribers as PewDiePie or others. I mean, he's still got a ridiculous amount, mid-50s now, and 55 million or something. But nobody's better at creating content than Mr. Beast now, and at least that's my opinion. I think he's the top content creator on the platform. You've got to be, like you said, Frank, as well. You've got to be passionate. Passion is a big key to growing on YouTube. And if you're not passionate about what you're doing, take a step back, reevaluate, and think about, the direction you want to go. And if the channel is not where you want to go, what you currently are doing is not where you're happy being, then take a step back, reevaluate, and think about what you are passionate about, because your passion needs to come across, right? It's important. So thank you guys for the comments. Thank you so much for everything. Mage, dude, it's awesome to see you. Masked Mage is one of my really old school subscribers too, one of my OG subbies. And he was actually in the community collab video I did like a year and a half ago. And dude, it's awesome to see you. And 49-cent Rage Hamilton, awesome to see you, my friend. And first 1,000 hours, thank you so much for coming, my friend. And yeah, that's a great suggestion, and that's something I talked about a little bit earlier in the video, about having people to come in and ask questions. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. This is brand new for me today. This is the first live stream that I've done. So I have a lot of functionality to learn. I have a lot of things that I want to implement over time. Live channel reviews, having other people in with me to talk and discuss, and all kinds of questions we're going to be answering and things we're going to be doing. So thank you for your suggestion, my friend. I really appreciate it. And Alex, why Mr. Beast is a YouTube genius and how he beat the algorithm. Yeah, he is a YouTube genius, I think, for sure. I don't think there's really a way to beat the algorithm. I think you just learn how it operates and what people want, and he's just used that and exploited that. Nothing wrong with what he's done. He's created like an absolute mega empire with his channel. Like he's doing it phenomenal. Nage wants me to dye my hair blue to celebrate 3,000 subscribers. I can't promise that, Mage, but we'll think about it, okay? I don't know how my wife would feel about that. She'd probably say like, okay, you can do it for a day and then you have to dye it back. But thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. I know you've been around for a long time, and I appreciate it so much. Yeah, first 1,000 hours, exactly, my friend. We're all learning as we go here. We're all learning as we grow. We're all learning how to create better content, how to create content that impacts people in their daily life, right? And whether we're doing education or information or fun entertainment. So I want to know, like, after this, if you guys would drop in the comments, leave me the topics that you want to discuss. Let me know what it is. Next week, again, I won't be here because we have a previous event planned. But 2 weeks from now, I will be back. And every week after that, I want to keep these streams going. I know it's going to be a big help. And we're going to dive into lots and lots of topics that are going to hopefully give you tons of information, tons of advice, and help you really focus your channel in on what will help grow your channel versus things that don't really help. And I really am so grateful for the discussion going in the comments and the discussion going in the live chat, because that gives me a lot of energy and motivation to keep going too. If anybody is interested in being a moderator for future live streams, could you let me know? Could you leave me a comment, shoot me an email, let me know if it's something you'd be interested in, because I certainly would be great to have 1 or 2 people to moderate comments, just in case we get a situation like that spammer at the start, who was spamming shout out. I don't mind doing a shout out or whatever, but you only need to put it like once. So thank you so much, guys. Alexia says you have fake colors now, you can just wash it off in the shower. Okay, I know nothing about fashion or hair stuff, Alexia, so forgive me. And Mage says again, only hit 3,000 subs once, and hair color actually drains off pretty quick if you don't do the permanent stuff. So thank you, guys. I am so grateful. This was awesome. I feel like super happy that I finally got to come and do this. And you know, it's something that I really have been wanting to do for a long time. So I'm grateful Grateful for the comments, grateful for everything that that you guys discussed and dropped in. It really is amazing to see all of you, even if it's for an hour. And if you need any help offline, shoot me an email anytime. Let me know what questions you have. If you're struggling with something, if you want to bounce an idea off me, if you want to send me some design you're working on for your channel and see what I think, I'm more than happy to help you out with that. I've done some thumbnails and some banner art and channel art for people before. I can't do it all the time because I just don't have enough time, full-time work and my family and other things as well. But you guys mean the world to me. I love each and every one of you so much. And, this channel wouldn't be where it is and doing what it's doing and without each of you. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm really grateful. Thanks for the awesome comments. And thank you, Frank, for the kind comment there. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. For me, this is something that it feels just like an extension of me doing a video. So the nice thing is, like, it's kind of casual and laid back. I don't have to be stressed out with any of this. I don't have to be like, oops, I said something wrong. It doesn't matter because it's just like talking with family and friends. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Wednesday's video coming is going to be on trolls and haters. It's going to be a satirical video. I really hope that you guys like it. And make sure you leave your comments and your feedback as well. And you guys have an amazing rest of your day and weekend. And I will super look forward to seeing the rest of you, to seeing all of you again in about 2 more weeks, guys. So blessings to all of you. And thanks so much for joining today. And I'll see you guys really soon. Bye.